All right, guys, we're almost halfway through the year. And since we're halfway through the year, I thought it would be, I guess, appropriate to show you guys what my favorite releases and discoveries of 2026 are. Now, this is so far, this isn't all of them, obviously. We got 6 months to go, or 6.5 months to go. So I think that I picked up a lot of great fragrances that some of you probably have not heard of. So if you're ready for another epic fragrance review, sit back, relax, get some popcorn. It's about to go down. All right, for those who don't know, welcome to He Smells Like Rome. I'm Rome Legates. Here we talk about niche fragrances, luxury fragrances, hard to find fragrances, and those fragrances that's gonna cause conversation. So if that's the type of content you look for, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications when I shoot my videos. You know how this works. You help me out, I help you out. So Bible verse of the day is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. And I'm reading from the New International Version. Love is patience, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. So we're gonna get into that at the end of the video, but let's have some fun first. So the first fragrance I wanted to talk about, I literally just got this 2 days ago, and I knew it was gonna be on the list as soon as I smelled it. And that is from the Gate perfume. This is Silent Symphony, their newest fragrance release. And yeah, let me show you the box. This is the presentation. If you haven't seen my unboxing, I did, I think a couple of days ago. I'm excited for this one. So here's the presentation. It opens up like that, just like a Gate would. That's pretty cool. But let's talk about the juice. Here we go. So this fragrance to me is a beautiful take on a pina colada fragrance or beverage. And you guys know, if you don't know, pina colada is my favorite tropical summer beverage, virgin pina colada. And this one here took it to another level. Now I have at least 4 tropical pina colada inspired fragrances, but this one is on the sweeter side. I mean, like an overdose of sweetness. So obviously you got the pina colada. There is a beautiful caramel note that kind of complements that fruity, kind of zesty vibe that goes along with the pina colada. There's a unique Granny Smith apple note in this. There's a creaminess that almost smells like ice cream. Trust me, you're gonna really enjoy this fragrance, guys. I think the most noticeable note that is super unique, but obviously you need it in a pina colada, is the coconut. But the coconut, to me, one is the most realistic and is one of the most sweeter kind of interpretations of a, I guess, coconut or pina colada note in the fragrance. But when I tell you, just opening it up and smell it from the nozzle, I was like, this is amazing, bruh. Absolutely going on a list. So if you want a gorgeous spring/summer fragrance, especially if you're going on vacation, get it in your collection. I got it in mine, and that's why it's on the 2026 list for best releases. So that's that. Look out for the review. It's coming up very soon, but we got more to talk about. Let's move on to the next. So the next fragrance, I recently went to Vresiana like maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And I went to pick up some fragrances because I said I needed to kind of venture into some of their more affordable fragrances, and I would say more of their more mass appealing fragrances. Just to give you guys a heads up or a sneak peek, I'm gonna be dropping a top 10 of my favorite Vresiana fragrances. So stay tuned for that, because this video is gonna be epic. But this one right here, Sparkle, from the Aroma Nova Intenso collection, blew my mind. Now this one is I guess it's almost balanced in two ways. It's very gourmandish, but it's also very citrusy, or I would say summery, if that makes sense. So let me break that down for you. So in the opening, you're gonna get a beautiful whiff of warm spices. You're also gonna get it literally smells like vanilla ice cream. So you're gonna get that creaminess, sweetness, and some warm spices. And I was like, oh, exactly like that. I was like, whoa, yo, this is outstanding. And just to be clear, this 55 milliliter bottle, for not just the smell, but the performance this line has, is not beast mode, but it performs above its pay grade, in my opinion. So when I saw the price of, I think it's $125, something in that range. This is not more than $155, I know that. But I was like, yo, this is a steal. Cinnamon, vanilla, warm spices, and that citrus note, they reversed it. The citrus is in the base of the fragrance, but I get it from the mid and the base. So there's like an orange peel and a mandarin orange kind of vibe mixed with the spices and the creaminess. And this is absolutely one of a kind, bro. Get your nose on this one. Sparkle is a must-have, and I believe that you can wear this fragrance in the summer and also in the early part of the fall. But if you want a gourmand citrus fragrance, this is it. Yeah, one of the best releases from Vresiana, but also for 2026. Yeah, let's go check out the next one. So next up is probably one of the most surprising releases from Boadicea de Victorious, and one of the strongest, most polarizing oud fragrances I've come across in a long time. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Carbon Sapphire Supercharged by Boadicea de Victorious. Now, I just did a review on this, so you can go check that out. I'll link it up here on the description below. But why did I put this on the list? I put this on the list because if you're like me, you like unique, you like abstract, you like polarizing fragrances. And this fragrance with 3 different rose notes, with 3 different oud notes, and with a cognac note that really surprised me. And the way I can describe this fragrance is it's absolutely woody. It's animalic. It's beast mode. There's a beautiful battle between a fresh rose and a dark and smoky rose. But there is also a really intense burnt aspect about this fragrance. This almost smells like burning woods inside of soil, and also there's a kind of, I would say, a resinous vibe that also creates this smokiness. It's wonderful, it's beast mode. If you love oud fragrances, this is the one you need. I'm telling you, Carbon Sapphire Supercharged is one of the best releases of 2026. Get your nose on it. And if you can't afford the $1,200 version, this one I think is 125 bucks. So there you go. Yeah, let's go check out the next one. So like the title says, this is favorite releases and also favorite discoveries of 2026. So not every fragrance on here was released this year, but since it's new to my collection, of course, it's going in the video. So the next fragrance is my favorite leather fragrance in all the perfumery, and also obviously my favorite leather fragrance in my collection. Now, disclaimer, I've had this fragrance before, but I've only had the 20 milliliter bottle. Now that I have the 100 milliliter bottle, of course, I got put on a list. We're talking about Curcuma from Evanescence. And yes, this fragrance, man, every time I've worn this fragrance, I just felt like the smoothest, suavest gentleman GQ guy on the planet. There's something about this fragrance that creates this kind of prestigious vibe that none of my other fragrances give off. So the combination of turmeric, iris, and leather is what I got when I first smelled this fragrance. And before this fragrance came out, there was nothing that was putting turmeric in a fragrance. I don't think any company did that. And I give the Evanescence crew, especially Sophie, major props for venturing out and doing something bold like this. To me, the turmeric, and I've said this before, it literally smells like either sweet potato or yams. Now, I'm not talking about candy yams or sweet potato pie. No, just the yam or the sweet potato itself. I get those two mixed up because they're not the same, but they're in the same family. But the smell is powdery, is slightly sweet, it's warm, it's soft, spicy, but the leather in this is clean, it's almost suede-like. Everything about this fragrance is wonderful. There is also, in the dry down, a combination of earthiness and this benzoin that adds a little touch of sweetness also. However, listen to me, my guys, if you're looking for one of the most unique leather fragrances that literally women are drawn to, get your nose on Kure Kukuma. One of the best fragrances in my collection, and I'm super happy that I have it now in the full bottle. That's why it's on the list for 2026. Oh, we got more. Let's go check out the next one. So the next fragrance or oil is something I've been talking about over and over for the last 2 months. And I'm gonna be talking about it a lot more. It's gonna be featured in a lot more videos. Now it's getting hot, especially spring and summer. But you guys, trust me, you need this one right here. This is Granite from Vresiana, and this is one of their attars. And I said this at least 3 times now. This is one of the best layering oils that I have in my entire collection. Yes, it has this really unique take on a pomegranate. Not only does it have this sweet nuance of pomegranate, it has a very animalistic tone of agarwood that's a little funky, but it doesn't like push you away. It's unique and interesting where you're like, yeah, that it's a little funky, it's a little BO-ish, but the fruity aspect of this is super addictive, super attractive. And there's other fruit notes in here. To me, I smell bergamot. I smell a little bit of, it almost smells, I would say, a combination of like banana or, yeah, I'm saying banana and mango. So if you can kind of mix all those fruits and then add some wood and agarwood notes in this is what you get. Now, to me, layering this with a oud fragrance is going to blow your mind. Layering this with a gourmand fragrance, bruh, don't tell me nothing. This is a must-have and beast mode, might I add. So you only need like 2-3 drops of this. I would say 2, don't do more than 2 because then it's everywhere. Full review will be coming up, but Granite from Vresiana is a must-have. Don't forget, use my discount code ROME20 to get 20% off of this or any fragrances from Vresiana's website. Trying to hook you up. All right, speaking of fruity oud fragrances, here is another one from Vresiana. And this, I just did a review on. I'm surprised that a lot of you haven't watched the review. I'm telling you, do not miss out on this. Oud Dahlia from Vresiana, absolutely, without any question, was going to be on this list because to me, this is one of the most exciting oud fragrances I've come across in a while. Now, you heard me just talk about Carbon Sapphire. And you guys are probably scratching your head saying, how is this above carbon sapphire? I say that because this is way more wearable. This is going to be way more appealing to more people. Of course, yes, this has a really heavy, and I'll say it again, bombastic oud note in the opening. But the tropical fruits, the apple, the raspberry, the pineapple, all the fruit notes that's in the opening kind of balance this out when you compare it to any other oud fragrance. I contribute that to the Sicilian lemon because beyond the tropical fruits, that lemon note is very prominent in the opening. There is some sandalwood in the base. It's creamy, but all in all, overall, if you want a fruity oud-based fragrance that definitely has a punch to it, a uniqueness to it, and has a really contrasting leather in the base, this is the one you need. And I said it before and I'll say it again, if you add these two together, you just created a whole new fragrance. Oudalia or Oudalia, a must-have, and absolutely one of the best releases of 2026. You can thank me later. Let's go check out the next one. All right, we're gonna stay right with Vresiana, another release from Vresiana that I've been talking about, and you guys have heard me say it's a one-to-one to Amber Oud by Kilian. I'm talking about Ambergris. Yes, Ambergris to me is identical, 100% identical to that fragrance that is now discontinued. And if you've been craving or wanting that fragrance and you haven't been able to get it, this is absolutely a must-have for a fraction of the price. That fragrance was like $400 back when it was released. This is, I think, $175 for a 100 milliliter bottle. So to me, that's a no-brainer. Amber, vanilla, Virginia cedar, benzoin. Go look at the notes. Tell me if they're not identical. Now, the smell I get in this fragrance, there is literally zero oud, just like the Kilian fragrance. There's a woodiness to it, yes. But when I smell this, the beautiful creaminess of the vanilla, the absolutely stunning amber and benzoin note is all you get, all you need. Now, this fragrance is very linear. It doesn't change much, but just that aroma is almost hypnotizing. So good, so alluring, and a must-have if you're looking for something like Amber Oud. So this is, yeah, a must-have. That's why I put on the list. Go get yourself a bottle, Ambergris by Vresiana. So, Crumble Me Softly. I think how you say the name is Mebisu, but when I got my nose on this fragrance, of course, looking at the notes, looking at the box, you would think something different. But when I smell this fragrance, the first thing I said was, this smells like a combination of a milkshake with chocolate chips. It smells also very doughy versus just the chocolate chip itself. And as a child, I was addicted to when my mom would make like cookies or cakes from scratch, and she left the bowl there and you had a little scoop or you took your finger and ate a little bit. That is what I got when I smelled this fragrance, and whew, every bit of my childhood came rushing back. This is sweet, it's milky, lactonic, it's creamy, it's powdery, it's chocolatey. It is light. It isn't beast mode, but if you, like I said, if you can imagine a chocolate chip milkshake with a chocolate chip inside and add a little bit of powdery sugar on top of that, oh, that's what you get. This is so addictive, one of a kind, and one of the best gourmand releases, in my opinion. Now, I'm not sure if this came out in 2026, but I just got it. It was either released late 2025, but I'm pretty sure it's in that 25, 26 range. But if you have not got your nose on this, if you want that lady to be all over your neck, or ladies, if you want your man to be chasing you around, get this one. It's a must-have. Yeah. Let's go check out the next one. Crumble Me Softly, a banger. So about 2.5 weeks ago, I received a bag of samples, like 20 samples from Bulan. And there's about maybe 7 of them that I was like, oh, I need these in my collection. But specifically, there were 4. And out of the 4, literally 3 days ago, I received them. And one of them is this, Pure Francais, I think that's how you say it. I'm not French. Listen, perfume palette, make a video, tell us what this name is. But all joking aside, I'll put the name up here so you guys can see it. This is one of the strongest, one of the most powerful, I'm talking about break your neck, grab your attention leather fragrances in the world. In the world. Smoky, woody, leathery. I don't know the notes. Like I said, I'm not even sure if this is even on the website yet. I will be reviewing it. It should be out this month. But this fragrance right here, this one, Pure Francais, I think that's how you say it. I thought there was a fragrance called Black from Cassidy that was beast mode. Nah. If I spray this, I'm upstairs. This will fill my entire house up if I spray this fragrance. I'm looking to do that when I go out because I want to shut the party down. I want to shut the event down. I want everybody to be like, yo, who has that on? Get your nose on it. It's a must-have. Full review will be coming up very soon. Yeah, stay tuned for that. One of the strongest fragrances and one of the best leather fragrances of 2026. The next fragrance, you guys saw my unboxing. I got the full bottle. I told you this needed to be in the collection. And it is one of the newest releases or re-releases from Boadicea Victorious. And I'm talking about Amber Sapphire. Yes, I got it. You guys knew I would. Blown away by this fragrance. All I can tell you is the review will be coming up probably in a week. But rum, boozy, soft, spicy cinnamon that adds a whisper of sweetness. The amber is oriental, it's resinous. There's a contrast between rose and also this agarwood note in the base that is just regal. Didn't like it when I first sprayed it. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. But this is one of the best fragrances in my collection. And I cannot wait to review this for you guys. If you gave it a chance, give it a second chance. Trust me, you will change your mind. Amber Sapphire by Boadicea Victorious is now in my collection and one of the best releases or re-releases of 2026. Dang, I want to wear this right now. I can't. Let's go check out the next one. Another fragrance I added to my collection this year that I was totally caught off guard. You guys seen my reaction, you saw my wife's reaction, and a lot of you guys resonated with it because you saw or just messaged me and said, hey, Rome, I went and got a sample, I got me a bottle, I just picked it up, I saw your review, you were 100% right, and I'm glad you guys trusted my recommendation. and I'm glad you guys have it in your collection, because I got it in mine. We're talking about Imperial. Yes, super late to the party, but now that I have this gorgeous, wonderful concoction in my collection, I'm ecstatic. This fragrance plays in the fougere department. It plays in the oriental side. It goes and travels to the floral side. It even takes a venture into this kind of eggwood, playing around with the oud note and mixing all this up and creating what I consider to be a masterpiece, and now my favorite fragrance in my collection. There is no way this wasn't gonna be on the list, and I wanna wear it, I do. But I refuse to just wear this on a regular day. This is reserved for special occasions, events, surprises, whatever the case may be. But if you don't have this, this is a must-have, and you can wear this in any weather. I don't care what weather it is. It will work, and it will work well. Go get your nose on Imperial from Boadicea to Victorious. One of the best discoveries of 2026. All right, can you guys guess what number one is? Comment down below right now before the video ends and tell me what you think number one is. Let's see who got it. Let's go get it. All right, so what I consider to be, so far, the best release of 2026 has to go to Vetiver Messenger by MDCI. Most of you guys probably already knew that I was going to talk about this one or put it in number one, because I still, right now, have not smelled a better fragrance that was released this year. Now, if I were just talking about smell, it would be hard to say that this is better than Imperial. They two different types of fragrances, but the smell of this creates a gorgeous aroma. So when we're talking about a vetiver fragrance, you're probably going to be kind of confused smelling this. Oh. It opens up with a beautiful sweet note of a mixture of berries and fruits. On top of that, you're going to get a fresh aftershave like lavender. The sweetness, the freshness, the lavender, it's just wonderful. I don't know how I can describe this better. It's wonderful. It's everything I was looking for in a fragrance that really surprised me. Now, of course, this does have a vetiver note, but that's more in the mid, leading into the base of the fragrance. There is a candy apple note in this fragrance that is undeniable. When I smell that, it literally brings me back to my 12-year-old self going to the corner store and getting one of those candy apples and biting into it and having that candy coated feeling, and then biting into it and that crisp, juicy Granny Smith apple. Oh, wonderful in every way. The base changes this to a gourmand mixed with woods and a warm, seductive and cozy cashmere note that is untouched. When I tell you Vetiver Messenger is a must-have, trust me when I say it's a must-have. This is the best release of 2026, and it's going to be hard to beat this, in my opinion. So if any of you other fragrance houses are watching, you better step your game up, because right now, this is King of the Hill. All right, guys, that is it. That is my, I don't even know how many fragrances this is my list of the best releases and discoveries of 2026 so far. Stay tuned. At the end of the year, I'm going to do a full list when I gather all the fragrances that I either purchased or received, and I'll make a list so we can kind of figure out what is truly all of what I consider to be the best of 2026 releases and also discoveries. All right. With that said, I want to end this off with the verse that we were talking about. So like I said, when I read this verse and I was thinking about it, this is something me and my family go through a lot, where when we're angry at each other, or we're upset, or we're bothered with each other, we have to remember that we have to lead with love. And that's something that I think most people forget or struggle with, especially when they don't read the word. I'll reiterate it. Love is patience. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. When you think about that, in the first sentence, love is patience. We have to be patient with each other. If you say you love someone, if you say that you care for them, show them grace. Have patience when they mess up, or when they don't do exactly what you would consider to be the right thing, or any aspect of their life. We have to show patience. That means we can't be quick to anger or quick to judge. And we have to keep that mindset of love. Love is the strongest thing. I'm working on that. I struggle with it, but every time I read that verse, it calms me down. It puts me into perspective. It puts things into perspective. Love does not envy. If you say you love someone, friend or family or associate, right? If you love them, don't be envious of the things they have, the things they do, or what they achieve. You can't be phony or fake your love for someone. You have to look inside and kind of look and say, you know what? Instead of me hating, instead of me being jealous, instead of me wishing that was me, let's be happy for them. Let's be proud of them. Let's lift them up and give them praise for doing the work, because God has blessed them with this thing for a reason. And then we have to turn around and say, what can we do for ourselves? And how can we pray to make our lives better so God will shine his light on us? Because if you're hating on someone, if you envy that person for their things, you know that that is one of the commandments. God is not going to bless you with that. So I think that we have to really look at that verse and just kind of digest it. If we love, if we're patient, if we're kind, if we don't envy, if we're not proud and think that, you know, I'm too above apologizing for my wrongdoing, or being too aggressive or jumping to conclusions, then you have to think, am I really saying the right word? Do I really know what love means? And I think that not only you, sometimes I got to take a step back and I got to, no, let's be patient. Let's love before we get angry. Let's be kind and do what God would do. That's the key component to this. What would God do in this situation? He's been patient with me. He's loved me. He's always protected me. And if I can give a little bit of that to my friend or family or even stranger, I'll be doing better in this world, and I'll show that I'm walking in the way of Christ. So I say that to say this. I love you guys. Read the whole verse. It's powerful. Until next time, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, God bless in Jesus' name. Peace.